Hey, hey, y'all. Hey. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. Good day, mommy. It was good to see you yesterday. We had a good time celebrating my uncle Kenneth and my aunt Marion's birthday. So they are in their 80s. My aunt is 80 and my uncle is 83, and they are fabulous. And we had a good small birthday supper yesterday, and it was great. Good day, Wayne. It's good to see you. Yeah, man, that's the question. What is the next level? What is the next level? Let's see if we can explore that. That is a question that you can take into contemplation, right? It's a question that you can use for inspirational journaling, right? What is my next level? What is the next thing for me to do? What is mine to do, right? What's the level? What is the level, right? Thank you, Wayne, for that question. That might spark an upcoming series. We'll see. We'll see. So, good day and welcome. Welcome to Morning Sip with Rev Melissa. I am Rev Melissa, and SIP is an acronym for Spirit in Practice. And SIP is brought to you live right here on the New Thought Media Network. And so, on Mondays, we start a new series most Mondays, right? So I was telling my producer this morning, y'all, Red Melissa woke up this morning, no download, nada. I said, all right, let me go to my spiritual practice. Got in, did my spiritual practice, Gladys. I was like, Lord, I'm open to receive. What words would you have me impart today? Crickets. I said, okay, all right. So you know what I did next? After I did my spiritual practice, I had my prayer circle this morning. You know what I did next? I took a nap. I took a nap. I went right back to sleep, right? So I went back to sleep and I wake up and I'm like, I got a text message from one of my friends and she said, I don't know why I need to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you this, right? So she gives me this message and I was like, oh, maybe that's the sip. And I was like, no, no, that's not it. That's okay. All right. And sometimes you just have to surrender, Pamela. You just have to surrender. That's okay. Let me just go get myself together. I'm going to stay open and see, right? Nothing, 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 nothing. Y'all, it's almost 10 o'clock and Red Melissa got nothing. Now, mind you, I have a whole list of SIP topics that I've been collecting over time from downloads. But it's all about the timing for me, right? So I went and I looked at my list and I usually feel like a little ding in my spirit, in my soul, right? When I know that's the one. No dings, none. Quiet. It's like, okay. So Red Melissa gonna get up and we're gonna do morning sip and we're not gonna have nothing. I'll just stand here and smile, right? So what happens, right? I'm reading 365 Days of Richer Living as my inspirational reading, Nan. So I refer to this book. I've been referring to this book, throughout this year. And I said, let me go back and reread today's. Maybe that might inspire me some way. I read it, nothing. Okay. So then the other thing I do, I'm sharing with y'all all my little secrets right now. The other thing I do is when I read, I'm a highlighter. So I highlight, I write stuff, right? But one of the things that I do, and you might want to adopt this for yourself, is in the front cover of my books, I take little notes of things that just kind of resonate with me or things that I feel like there's a message, like there's something else that I need to do with it. That's okay. Let me look in my book. Let me look in the front cover, right? So I'm going through it. Nothing. I get to March 14th. Ding. Uh-huh. Okay. So I said, okay, let me go to March 14th and read it, right? And so I have some notes there. I have some notes and stuff that I wrote. You can't really see that, but I do that. I do that kind of thing. So I'm reading along, and first of all, the word in the first word on March 14th is communion. Ding, 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 ding. More little flutterings, like I get a little flutter right in my heart space. I feel a little something in my tummy. And I'm like, communion? I don't want to talk about communion. Listen here, spirit. I don't know what you're up to, but you had me doing the prayer of Jabez. You had me doing the Lord's Prayer. You had me doing like what? Joy songs based on the gospel, spiritual hymns, and now communion. What is happening here? So y'all know what I said? I said, no, I'm not doing that. Give me something else, right? So I'm flipping through, and mind you, time is a ticking, right? No dings, no nothing, right? And I said, okay, what's my favorite word? One of my favorite words is yes. I said, okay, all right, spirit, yes, yes. Okay, where we going? Where we going? So all I can phantom, y'all, is I am having some kind of renewing, rebirthing, re-experiencing of my growing up in church, growing up in a Pentecostal church. And clearly it has left quite an impression on my soul. I love I love church. I love the gospel. I love the teachings. I love all that stuff. And it was a challenge for me growing up in a Pentecostal environment where most of the time you were told you were wrong, that something was wrong with you, right? That you were a sinner and you needed to be saved from yourself. And all these things were kind of like drilled in growing up. And that the big thing for me was that God was up in the sky in heaven, separate and apart from me, right? And that I had to do all these things to earn God's favor. And it never sat well with me as a child. And so I've shared this many times. And so for communion to come up, communion was a big deal at church. We had communion Sunday. Anybody have this experience? Any Baptists, Pentecostal, Catholics even, right? Of communion, right? It was a big, big deal. And what made it so big for me as a child was it really put the spotlight on the sinners, because you couldn't get up and get communion, right? If you wasn't saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Spirit. You couldn't, right? And if you thought that you were that and you got up and you got up for communion, don't be surprised that somebody will come and tell you, oh no, you go sit down. Oh no. Oh no, sit down. Right? Because there were people in the church who thought they was the judge and the jury of your soul. So they were like, "Yo, sit down, little girl," right? So, so this is kind of like traumatic. It's traumatic, right? So for me, it was a spotlight on the sinners, and it was a spotlight on me, right? It was a spotlight on me. All the things that I have been doing that weren't right, all the things that I was going to be judged on, it was something, mommy. It was something. So for it to come up today, I said, okay, there is some reframing that needs to happen here, right? And so I'm just going to embrace it, and y'all going to go with me on this journey. Is that all right? I hope that's all right, y'all, because that's where I am right now. And so all I can do is be with where I am. And that's what all of us can do. Just be where we are, right? Stop wanting to be someplace else. Stop wanting to like fight against what's present right in front of us, right? Stop rejecting what could be our glory because we don't quite get all of it yet, right? It's still unfolding. Some of us don't have the patience to go through the unfoldment, right? We just want it all right now. Just tell it all to me right now, right? So one of my things I said this year for me also was patience. So here we go, y'all. So the new series, y'all, is communion. It's communion. That's where we're going. So the first thing I do, the first thing I do is go to the dictionary. And the dictionary talks all about the Holy Communion. Even in the dictionary, all about the Holy Communion, right? And the act of receiving, the body of Christ, the blood of Christ. Even if you're not in the church, you are aware of the Holy Communion. And so I was going down all of the different definitions of it. Most of it was centered around believers, believers, the Last Supper, the crucifixion, resurrection, the the meaning of salvation. It was a lot of that. And then the very last definition said this: the state of things so held. The state of things so held. I said, oh, I like that. The state of things so held. I said, okay, God, let's go with that. Let's go with that. Because you'll also recall, I think when I was doing the Lord's Prayer, I said that one, I'm not a biblical scholar, right? And I'm not here to debate anything about people's beliefs, right? Whatever you believe is fine with me. It's all good as far as I'm concerned, right? Because there's debates about communion. There's debates like, did Paul do communions? Was that a Paul thing? Was that a Jesus thing? Do this in remembrance of me is the argument that it was Jesus. So I'm not here to debate any of that. I'm not here to debate the Bible or the translations of the Bible or any of that. What I'm here to do is to offer another perspective. That's it. That's it. And you could try it on, and if you like it, you could take it home. And if you don't, you could leave it. It's all good. It's all good. So I just want to remind all of us of that again. Okay? So, since the 365 days of daily living sparked this whole thing, I want to read to you what it says about communion. And so it starts with a verse from John 14:16. And I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever. Right? Okay. Communion with the Spirit is one of the greatest privileges of life. By communion with Spirit, we do not mean telling the infinite what to do or how to do it. I have to tell y'all, I was doing that this morning. I was like, Spirit, where is my download? I got sipped. Come on now. You know the drill by now. I was telling Spirit, where's my stuff? Right? Okay. Telling the infinite what to do or how to do it. That's not what communion is, y'all. For that is talking at God rather than communing with God. By communion, we mean silently entering into divine harmony and beauty until we feel that harmony and beauty in our own souls and in our own minds. We must commune by listening and feeling this presence until the presence is revealed to us. This is the very essence of communion. This is the very essence of communion, right? Listening and feeling the presence. And isn't that what we've been talking about for over a year now? Listening and feeling the presence of spirit within us, spirit as us, feeling it, the feeling tone. Yes? So the communion is about feeling the presence of spirit, communing with it, right? The state of things so held. How are you holding spirit in your life? Are you holding it as, listen here, I need this, you better get me that, right? Are you holding it as that? Are you holding it as, ah, oh, I wish I could think of some other examples right now. Are you holding it as the oneness that you are with the divine, right? This morning, I wasn't. I have to tell y'all, I was not holding it as oneness. I was holding it as something that was separate and apart from me, that was going to give me this thing, right? And it doesn't come that way. And I know that. It doesn't come on like this demand, right? It doesn't. At least not for me. It comes when I'm silent. It comes when I'm listening. It comes when I'm receptive. It comes when I'm like, I'm loosened up, I've taken a deep breath. It comes when I stop even thinking about it. Like, go do something else, right? Take your mind off of that for a moment. And then you could come back with new eyes, right? The state of things so held. How are you holding the state of your life? How are you holding the state of things that you are holding? How are you holding it? I was holding it like this morning. This is how I was holding it. And what can come through? Not a thing. Just more of what I wasn't open to receive, right? No information, no downloads. Intuition was like, I could barely hear it. But when we open up, when I said, okay, I just surrender, I'm just going to go downstairs and be like, hey, y'all, like, y'all like my earrings? They Gladys Williams, right? That's what it's going to be, right? And then I heard the little whisper that's always present, but I wasn't present. I wasn't in communion with the presence. I was in like ego land or something. I don't know where I was, but I wasn't present, right? And once I got present, once I kind of surrendered my will, because I was mighty willful this morning, once I surrendered my will, I heard the whisper. I heard the whisper. And was it as soon as I opened this that it was right there? Nope. I told y'all what happened, but I kept listening and I kept obeying and I kept just going and doing the next thing, going and doing the next thing, right? Now, this is happening in minutes, right? This is happening in minutes, but many times it's not happening in minutes for us. It's happening over a long period of time, right? And we know about time, right? There's our time, but God is always timely. God is always timely. So, Spirit was timely this morning, y'all. And so, I want to continue on. It says, God is my companion. or spirit is my companion. Infinite intelligence is my companion. It is impossible for me to be lonely or alone. For wherever I go, the one presence will accompany me. I have an infinite companion who goes with me wherever I go. I have partnership with the infinite, which is steady and strong and certain. I love this line. I have an infinite companion who goes with me everywhere I go, wherever I go, right? Wherever I go. But sometimes I wander off. And while I was reading that, a memory just came to me. When I was little, I must have been maybe 8 or 9 or something. And we went to the beach. My uncle Walter and other family members, we all went to the beach. And I'm walking along the beach. And at some point, I don't know how this happened. I'm thinking I'm still with my uncle Walter. And I'm holding his hand. I think it's my uncle Walter. I'm holding his hand. I must have been a little younger, maybe. I'm holding his hand. And when I look up, it's not my uncle Walter. I had like wandered off, right? And now that I'm thinking about this, I'm like, oh, this could have ended not so good. But I was holding this other man's hand. It was not a man that I know, but I thought it was my uncle Walter until I looked up and realized it wasn't, right? I had wandered off. I had wandered off, right? Everything, obviously, everything turned out just fine. I'm fine, right? Nothing happened to me, y'all. So I realized, right? And I just let the man's hand go and, went back to where everybody was, right? So I had wandered off. That probably wasn't the best example, y'all. Don't go wandering off with strangers. But you know what I'm saying. The point is that the presence never leaves us. The presence never leaves us. Sometimes we go wandering off. And this morning, I wandered off. I wandered off. I wandered off into my will be done, my will being done right now, because I said so, right? And that was the energy, y'all, that I had growing up. It was like my way or the highway, right? And how that's usually not the best way to go, right? You find yourself lost and in situations we probably don't need to be in, right? So I have an infinite companion who goes with me wherever I go. So no matter what I do, no matter what I say, no matter what, the infinite presence is always present, right? Are we in communion with that presence? Are we holding it? Are we in a state of things so held? Are we? So clearly, that is a question that I am holding for myself this week. And Wayne opened up SIP with a question, what is the next level, right? So what is the next level of the state of things that we are holding? Yes. What is the next level? What are we in communion with? Are we ready to move forward, right? And if you're ready to move forward, make sure you're moving forward with the presence. Make sure that you are being present with the presence before you make any moves. Before you make any moves, because you want to make sure that the hand that you are holding is the hand of spirit and not the hand of ego, not the hand of frustration, not the hand of worry, not the hand of doubt. You want to make sure that you are holding on to the hand that is holding you. That's communion. That's communion. Not judging you, not making you wrong, but just loving us through it all. Through it all. Through all our messiness. Yes? All right, so that's what I got so far, y'all. We'll see where this goes. We'll see where it goes. I'm Rev Melissa, y'all. This is me. Hey, I'm an ordained interfaith minister. I'm a religious science practitioner, and I am a purpose coach. And I am on this journey with you. I am here to support you. If you need any type of support, please reach out to me, DM me, and we can set up some time to talk. So we're living life in joy, connected to our yes, in communion with our yes. All right. So now it's time for some joy news. Time for some joy news. So yesterday, oh, living life in joy was wonderful. I hope those of you who watched it live stayed with us. We were having some sound challenges, but we made it through, and it's worth the listen to because Dr. Stephanie shared quite a won't he do it? Oh, yes, she did. So you don't want to miss that. Dr. Stephanie Jones, she's the digital empire builder. She is the hustle mama, right? So please check her out. She has a gift for my congregation of joy. So as soon as she sends me that link, I will share it with you all. She should have it to me by Wednesday the latest. She's just setting up some stuff so that it's really easy to engage. But she has some freebies. She has some discount stuff for building your digital empire. So please check that out. So living life in joy every Sunday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. Save the date. Saturday, y'all. It's coming up. Saturday, we are having a trunk show for Gladys Williams, Asante Jules. That's where, oh yes, the Zoom link. Okay, the Zoom link. I will have the Zoom link tomorrow. I knew there was something I was forgetting. So it will be on Zoom. I am wearing Gladys' wonderful creations right here, one of a kind. And this is the cannabis collection. Don't y'all love that? Oh, yes. And it is 3 pieces, the earrings, the necklace, and the bracelet. Fabulous. Fabulous. Yes, Gladys. Yes, beautiful jewelry. Yes, you recognize your stuff. Yes, girl. So please join us on Saturday for one of a kind handmade jewelry by Gladys Williams. Yes, yes, Jean. It's awesome. Love it. So your join, bring your money because we're going to be buying stuff. We are going to be buying stuff. We want to sell out Gladys, right, of her inventory so she can start creating even more stuff. And if you have an idea about something that you want created, have a conversation with Gladys. She may be able to do that for you. Okay? So Saturday, 6 o'clock, bring your cocktails. We're going to be on Zoom. We're going to have a good time. All right, April 24th. Save the date, April 27th, meditating with the moon. It is a full moon. It's the pink super moon. And I said, y'all could come in your pink pajamas if you want to. We do that at 4 a.m. Eastern time, right here on New Thought Media Network. So that's going to be a good time too. I dropped a new episode in the podcast, the Spiritual Partnership Series, and it's a good one, y'all. It's all about the feeling tone, talking about feeling tone, right? Feeling tone of our relationships. So what is the feeling tone of your relationship? So please check out the podcast. You can check it out on Spotify, Apple, and other podcast platforms. The YouTube challenge is going along. It's going along. It's like the little hare, the hare and the turtle. Yeah, I guess it's like the turtle. Yeah. So it's getting there. It's getting there. So please go to YouTube and subscribe to I Am Rev Melissa, my YouTube channel. I'm trying to boost my YouTube presence so I could do some things on that platform. So please share that with your circle. Just subscribe, like, and you could put like a little purple heart because all that stuff matters apparently with the algorithms. So I appreciate that. The deadline, 50 subscribers by April 27th. All right, so we got to get on it, y'all. Please support my ministry of joy through my joy line. So I have the Sip Joy Bugs, the long sleeve and short sleeve t-shirts, yes, and the Joy socks. The Joy socks, your joy, 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 modeled there by Nan. So please go to my Etsy store, I Am Red Melissa, and make your Joy line purchases there. Okay, we're going to donate to the New Thought Media Network. You can go to ntmedia.org and donate to this wonderful network that is committed to providing inspiring and uplifting programming. Yes, yes, yes. So thank you all for that. I'm going to see if my producer is going to pop in today, if he has a word for us. There he is. There he is. Hey.
What's happening? So I love how this came together, because for those of you that don't know, and how could you know, we were in the green room when she was talking about the fact that she didn't really have a sip. And I was throwing out ideas, well, maybe you could do this, maybe you could do that. So it was just nice to see how it all evolved. And it spoke to me. So I made some notes. The thing about wandering off, that spoke to me. And I'm going to try to make it practical. So for me, in practical terms, that means I have very specifically wandered off from Hero Hoodies. Even in terms of this, like this is supposed to be the Hero Hoodie update. And I turned it into Sekou Says Something. And it felt legit. It felt legit. It felt like, yeah, it's just a natural evolution. We should just, But, as I was listening to the shit this morning, I was like, see, there I go. There I go, trying to get out of it. The mind is tricky. The mind will make you believe what it is you're saying without you realizing that it's just trying to get comfortable again. So let me just say that for those of you that don't know, the mind's purpose, I read about this recently, the mind's purpose is to keep you comfortable. It's not to make you happy, it's to keep you comfortable. That's the way the mind is built. So the more comfortable you are, the more you must realize that your mind is doing what it does. And if you want something better for your life, you have to actively push against that reflex to do all the same things. Eat the same foods, go to the same places, not try to do something in a new way. And so we just caught me right here today. We just caught me. So without further ado, Hero Hoodie update.
Yes.
so what's been going on with Hero Hoodies? Fisk University has gotten involved. They're going to be the first, I hope, of many schools that are involved with Hero Hoodies. We haven't figured out what exactly that means yet, but they've got some ideas. I had a conference call with some of the students, and they were talking about ideas about how to promote Hero Hoodies. So there's that. Last night, I created the first adult version of the Sickle Cell Warrior hoodie because, as you know, I created that in support of my cousin who has sickle cell anemia, and I've been trying to raise awareness for her effort to raise awareness about sickle cell anemia and also raise money. So I created an adult version because a friend of mine just sent me money. He was like, I didn't see the adult version, here's some money. And then I was like, oh, well, I guess now I got to create an adult version. So I did that. So now available on the website, giveherohoodies.com. There is an adult version of the Sickle Cell Warrior hoodie that is in support of my cousin Morgan and her fight against sickle cell anemia. So that's what I got to say about the Hero Hoodie update. And I'm back on track. I will continue to pop in and I will continue to say things, but I will also continue to commune with the spirit about Hero Hoodies. So there it is.
Yes. Yes. You see how easy it is, right? It's so seductive. It's so seductive because you know why? Because if you still feel good sometimes, right? You still feel good. You're like, oh yeah, this must be it. This must be it. But what's happened is we just wandered off. Yes, G. Yes. We all have that example, right? We all have that example. Thank you, Sekou, for sharing yours. Yes. Back on track with Hero Hoodies. And so y'all know what that means. We stay activated. We stay activated. So let folks in your circle know Hero Hoodies is engaged and is moving forward in wonderful ways. And you can give at giveherohoodies.com by getting and giving a Hero Hoodie. So you get one, Sekou Writes will give one to the unhoused. All right, y'all. So I will see you all tomorrow, morning sip, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. We're going to continue in the unfoldment of communion. But think about this, take this into contemplation. What are you communing with? What are you communing as? What is it? What are you holding in your hands? What hand are you holding? Worry, joy, what is it? All right. All right, y'all. So, peace and blessings, peace and justice. We're living life in joy, connected to our yes.